Oh, Easy Nation, and welcome to another episode of the Easy K Show. I am Darth Easy.
And I'm Rainy Cage in classic mode again.
Yep, live from 1994. This is episode 144 of the Easy K Show. Today we are talking about our anticipated movies coming up for the fall because summer is pretty much over. We did this in the old form of the ECK show, in the podcast version of the show, where we would break down the top 10 movies coming out at the end of the year. And these are the more Oscar baity movies, some cool Marvel movies coming out. So there's a bunch of stuff to talk about on this list, and this was a very hard list to compile. Like compared to the summer list and the fall list, I think there's going to be a bunch of cool movies coming out, and there's a couple movies that are not on my list that are probably on your list that you'll be kind of shocked they're not on my list.
Oh, okay.
All right, so was this a hard list to compile?
Yeah, same reason. There's just so many movies coming out, and there's tons that don't have trailers that I was like, oh, that looks so cool, or sounded cool, and it's just a lot of movies to try and fit into 10 to pick 10 of them. But yeah, it was fun though, because I was like, man, this is gonna be lots of movies this winter, hopefully.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, so once me and Ray Cage have said topic, we'll go our own separate ways to compile our own separate top 10s. I'll do my 10 through 8, and he'll do 10 through 8. I'll do my 7 through 6. He'll do a 7 through 6. Then we'll trade one piece. Once we compile our own separate top 10s, we will create the show between the two of us. All right, so you started first last time, so I'll go first this time.
All right.
All right, so my number 10, this was the movie I was struggling the most to put on the list. And I'm happy putting it on the list because I love crime movies. So my number 10 is The Many Saints of New York, the Sopranos prequel. I think the trailer looked awesome. I never watched The Sopranos, so I shouldn't really be that excited for the movie, but I've heard so many great things about The Sopranos over the years. It's like the greatest, always been told it's like one of the greatest TV shows of all time. And I'm a sucker for a good crime movie, and HBO makes good stuff. So, and it's also being the guy who plays the main character is the son of the guy who played Tony Soprano, who's no longer with us. So I'm looking forward to watch. I'm hoping the movie's great, and then I get inspired to go watch the TV show. And yeah, so I'm going with the Many Saints of New York. It has a great cast. I think Leslie Odom's in there from Hamilton. What's his name? John Burfall's in there. He's probably playing some kind of cop. I'm looking forward to this movie.
Yeah, I had this as an honorable mention, and pretty much the same thing as you. I'm not a big Sopranos guy, but the trailer was good enough that I might be, after I see this movie, I might have to go back and watch Sopranos. Yeah, the trailer looks really cool, so.
All right, my number 9 is the first of what we like to always call Oscar bait movies.
Ooh.
My number 9 is King Richard.
Yeah, I don't have this one on my list at all. I forgot about this. Is the Will Smith, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised because you love Will Smith, but it's Will Smith. He plays the dad of Serena Williams, who's legendary. I guess they call her the GOAT of tennis. I don't know anything about tennis, but I'm always in for a good Oscar movie. And when Will Smith really dives into roles like concussion, like the movie, like he was better than what the movie really was. But Will Smith, like I remember that movie, he's like, "Tell the truth, tell the truth." And I remember he got screwed on an Oscar nomination that year. But Will Smith's a great actor. I mean, whenever he dives into these dramatic roles, he's really damn good. And I'm always in for a good biopic, especially I'm always a sucker for a good sports movie. Even if it's a sport I really don't care anything about, like tennis. And Serena Williams is a big icon name that you and I know about. So I'm looking forward to watching the movie, learn something, and walk away. Like I said, I'm always a sucker for a good biopic.
Is there a trailer for this movie yet?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it, and I just have really no interest in the subject matter. So maybe if I saw the trailer, I'd change my mind. But about Serena Williams or tennis or.
All right. My number 8 is my first musical on this list, and that is a little film coming out on Netflix called Tick Tick Boom.
Oh, I didn't know if you were going to find this movie because you have a bad habit of not seeing Netflix movies on Insider. I actually have this movie in my honorable mentions.
Okay, yeah, because first off, it's Lin-Manuel Miranda directed the movie. Right, I don't know if he wrote some of the music. I'm sure he did, but it's also got Andrew Garfield. I mean, he has another movie coming out this year. I saw a trailer for last night. That looks pretty good as well. I forget what it's called, but Andrew Garfield is such a good actor, and I haven't really seen him in a lot of stuff ever since he was in Hacksaw Ridge and Silence a few years ago. But I really, like I said, I really like him, and I love it. I'm a lover for a musical, and we've had some pretty decent musicals out this year, from In the Heights to the Vivo's music was pretty good. So I'm looking forward to seeing Tick Tick Boom, and I'm hoping that I fall in love with this movie, and hopefully Lin-Manuel Miranda directs the hell out of it. And I think it's going to be a surprisingly great film, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah, this movie is this year is the year of the musicals and the year of Lin-Manuel Miranda, because while I have this amount, which I have another that's coming out on my list. So yeah, I saw the trailer for this and I had not seen anything about this, and I was like, oh yeah, this definitely looks like my kind of movie, and I love Andrew Garfield too. So it's definitely in my honorable mentions. I think, as a matter of fact, I had this one at like 11 or something because I was kind of toying with putting it as 10. But
all right, that's what the answer, right?
All right, let me pull up my list here. My number 10 is The Kingsman. I figured
really.
Here's the thing about The Kingsman. One, this movie has been delayed insane amounts of time. This is a Fox holdover that Disney bought. But like Free Guy, there's two things. One, I love the first Kingsman movie. It was my movie of the year it came out. The second one I didn't really like very much. I've only watched it once. I bought it the other day because I wanted to rewatch it, but I remember not liking it. And we haven't had a Matthew Vaughn movie in forever. I was just like, where the hell is Matthew Vaughn been? And the other thing is, like with Free Guy, Disney had this movie sucked, we would have already had this movie. They would have released it. They would have done something with it. And I have a feeling that this movie is not horrible, because why is Disney holding on to this movie all the way? It's supposed to come out Christmas now. So that's my hope, is that it's a good movie. I still have love for the Kingsman franchise. I want to see Matthew Vaughn return to greatness. And the trailers were cool. I haven't seen the trailer in a while, because this is going to be like a prequel of the Kingsman. I still got interest in this movie. So this is the one that kicked out Tick Tick Boom, because I still got interest in the Kingsman.
Well, for me, it's just because the trailer was interesting when it came out. The movie got pushed back before COVID was a thing. So that's my a lot. And it was supposed to come out, I believe, in the summer this year, and it got pushed back again. So you can't. It's either you blame COVID or you blame the movie's not great. And I have a feeling after watching the second Kingsman movie, it's the latter. So we'll find out in December. But
I could be wrong.
It's the King's Man, not King's Men.
Yes, the King's Man. I don't know. It could go either way, but I don't know.
All right.
I don't know why Disney keeps pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. Why wouldn't they just released it online somewhere? Like
I said, it didn't even make my honorable mentions. So
yeah. That was my number 10. My number 9 is the other Lin-Manuel project that I was talking about, and that is in Disney's Encanto. It's a new animated.
Okay, yeah, that was an honorable mention. I don't have any animated movies on my list.
This is the only one only animated movie that looked halfway decent to me. Mm-hmm. and it's kind of cool because it's kind of got like a kind of Harry Potter kind of like it's everybody has magic except for I guess our main character is not magical.
Yeah, he's a muggle.
Yeah, and it's a musical, and Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote the songs for this one. So
yeah, like he did for Moana. So
yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. The trailer didn't like blow me away or anything, but usually the animation is usually better than I always expect. Like I remember going into Moana thinking this is going to be crap, and I love that movie. So.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I've watched it multiple times since, and I go back and listen to the music every so often, and it's one of the best musics in a while. It looks good. It's just there's so many more movies coming out in the fall that I'm looking forward to. So I'll go see it because I'm sure it'll be at least decent to watch. But I don't know. I'm looking more forward to other movies coming out.
I am an animated junkie, so you know me. I had to have at least one animated movie in here, and I can't stop listening to the Vivo soundtrack.
Yeah, me either. Me either. It's a great soundtrack. So,
yeah. All right, my number 8 is No Time to Die. I didn't know if you had this one on your list or not.
Nope.
No. Whoa.
I know.
That's a big miss. Here's the thing: the last James Bond movie I hated. I did not like Spectre, and that trailer looks really good. This is another one that was supposed to come out a long time ago, and COVID's pushed it. And we get to see our farewell movie from
Daniel Craig,
and I'd like to see that, and hopefully you can end it on a good note. And
yeah, hopefully.
The trailers looked cool. And I want to finish it out and get Idris Elba as our next Bond, hopefully.
I don't think we'll see that.
Yeah, but I still got love for Bond because there are some good ones in this new series. But man, Spectre sucks so bad; it's so boring.
Yeah, I hated Spectre, but Skyfall is like one of my favorite movies of all time. And I also love Casino Royale. Quantum of Solace isn't that great either. But every other Bond movie, it's turned out to be good. So maybe this will hit the thing. And we have Rami Malek playing the villain, which should be interesting. Also, Christoph Waltz is coming back as Blofeld. I was thinking about this movie the other day. I was like, man, I wonder if that's going to be any good. I don't know when this comes out. I think it's October or November.
I think it's November.
I think it's October.
It might be October. You might be right. I can't remember. They pushed it so many damn times.
Yeah, I tell my honorable mentions. But like I said, I went with movies that I think I know are going to be good on my list. So I think No Time to Die will either be I'll really, really enjoy it, or it just is going to really make me mad. So
October 8th.
Do what?
October 8th. Not too far away.
Well, that's good. All right, that's your 10 through 8?
My 10 through 8.
All right, my number 7 is my only Marvel movie on this list. And I'm going with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
You sure about that, sir?
Yeah.
That's your only Marvel movie on your whole list?
Yeah, that's my only Marvel movie on my whole list.
Wow. That is not only that, and you picked Shang-Chi, which I know the reviews for it are crazy good right now, but...
Not on your list?
No, I did not.
Oh.
That's the one I don't have on my list.
Okay, yeah, I went with Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. First off, I have not seen a trailer for SpiderMan yet. I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit. And so I'm kind of iffy if it's even coming out this year. Second off, Eternals, the new trailer just came out last night or this morning, looks incredible. But like I said, it would probably still not make my list. It would probably be like 11 or 12. So I'm looking forward to that movie. But Shang-Chi, I think what I'm looking really forward to it it's we got this. It's a diversity cast. So we have an Asian cast, has Asian American culture in there. We're bringing in the Mandarin of the Ten Rings. That's a complete side of the Mandarin, and we also the action looks great. Aquafina looks hilarious in the film, and then also I made this list before the reactions came out for Shang-Chi, but they say it is incredible, expands the universe. And I'm so looking forward to Shang-Chi. I think it's going to be an awesome action movie. I think it's going to have some cool stuff and also expand the Marvel like what Doctor Strange did and go into this whole other mythical arts of the Marvel movies where we can go into the future. So Shang-Chi has to be number 7 on my list.
I mean, it's an honorable mention for me, and you know, I probably wouldn't even had it on my list at all had it not been for the early reactions are so high. But I don't know. It just looks like for me, it just looks like another Marvel movie, whereas the other ones looked a little different. But we'll talk about the other ones later.
Okay. All right. My number 6 is a remake, which I'm a little iffy on to be a remake, but I'm looking forward to it regardless. And that is, I'm going with West Side Story.
Oh, yeah. This is another, I've never seen the original, so I forget about this. Another musical, though. Yeah. A musical kind of year.
Yeah, it's my last musical. It's Steven Spielberg. He's never directed a musical. So first off, I'm very interested in that. Like I said, West Side Story, the original is an all-time classic, so I'm a little iffy on it being remade. But Spielberg's been wanting to do this movie for years. It's a passion project of his. So I'm completely on fine with that. You got Ansel Elgort playing, I believe it's Ansel Elgort playing the main guy for West Side Story. Yeah, Ansel Elgort. I mean, you know, he was great in Baby Driver. And you also bring it back Rita Moreno from the original West Side Story into the new one. So that's kind of an interesting thing to do. The musical numbers should be very interesting. It's just like I said, I'm interested in it just because Spielberg has never done a musical, which is weird since his long career of films. So it's gonna be fascinating to watch that. And like I said, it's Romeo and Juliet at its core, and I'm always in for a good Shakespeare film. So West Side Story has to make it to number 6 on my list.
All right. My number 7, I went with a hunch that I have, and that is The House of Gucci.
Okay, I did not go with that movie. Good. It's on my honorable mentions, though.
I just have a feeling about this movie. I think this movie is going to win some Oscars, and I think I just got a feeling. I think I'm more excited about another Ridley Scott film, but I just have a feeling that this movie is going to be better than what it even looks like. And it looks really cool. You know, we get this kind of like backside look of the Gucci family and Lady Gaga and a murder is happening and all this other stuff's going on. It looks really cool and interesting. But I got a hunch that's going to be really good.
Well, here's the thing about it. Ridley Scott movies, they're either really good or really forgettable. So I'm looking more forward to the other one, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But Adam Driver is on such a hot streak of movies lately, though. I mean, even the movies crap, like the movie Behind You, he's still really good in those movies. Like, or if you look at like Black Klansman, the Logan Lucky movie, even the movie's very forgettable. Adam Driver is damn good in those films. So I'm looking forward to the movie. So I think it could be like a Christopher Plummer situation where he's good in the movie, but maybe the movie's just not as good as the content he's in. And also, it's interesting to see Lady Gaga go into a project that she's not a singer in, because, you know, A Star Is Born was very tailor-made for Lady Gaga's musical talents. So it's going to be more interesting to see if she can act again in like a actual dramatic picture, it becomes something different than what she actually is. So that's the one thing I'm interested about the House of Gucci.
Yeah, I agree, but also the release date has me thinking like this one comes out. I think it's like the week before December, whereas Last Duel comes out. Which I know we were trying to not say the movie, but the other Ridley Scott movie comes out a lot earlier, which makes you think, okay, well, must whoever's in charge of these movies release dates, they probably have more faith in House of Gucci. And I don't know. I just got a funny feeling. Maybe I'm wrong, but I got a feeling that it's going to be, even though I'm way more excited about the other movie, I feel like this movie is going to be better. I got a weird feeling.
Okay.
My number 6 is Eternals. The trailer for it. I will admit, I had this movie out of my top 10 as well. But then when that trailer came out this morning, it was so good. Like you said, it just blew me away.
Yeah,
it
it
looks
was great.
so different. It looks like very different from any Marvel movie we've gotten so far. And so I was just like, oh, this looks so cool to me, and I had to throw it in here. It's just the cast and just the kind of the epic feel of it. It looks interesting. It looks cool. So yeah, Eternals is my number 6.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I mean, when I saw the first trailer, I was like, "Is that Jon Snow?" And then this trailer, like, "Yeah, that's Jon Snow." It's kind of interesting to see both him and Rob Stark together again. And also you got Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Kiddo, the guy,
Yep.
the Pakistani comedian, I forget what his name is.
Yeah.
It's got a great cast, and I like the premise of it. Is like we can't get involved in anything. We're kind of just we can only get involved in human affairs and stuff if these people start showing up, and you're just like, okay, that's interesting. And it's being directed by Chloe Zhao, who won the Oscar this year for Nomadland. So I'll probably check that movie out before I check out Eternals. And when Marvel goes super weird, kind of like with Shang-Chi or Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, it usually turns out pretty well for them. Didn't go so well for Captain Marvel, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I'm looking forward to Eternals. Like I said, I would probably, if I reorganized the list, I probably would have put it at number 10, but or number 9, but still, it's right on the cusp of being in the top 10.
It just goes to show you the power of that trailer, because I had Shang-Chi, maybe making the list, but then when I saw that Eternals trailer this morning, I was like, nah, I think Eternals better. But who knows? We'll see.
All right. That was your 7 through 6?
Yep.
All right, I know my number 5's on your list because we still haven't had no commonalities. We've had commonalities, just they're not on each other's lists.
Yeah.
So my number 5 is Halloween Kills.
Oh God, no.
The last Halloween movie blew me away of how much I liked it, and the trailer for the new one was great. I love how the opening of the trailer shows the family. They're getting. It's like right off the set of the last film. They're getting driven away, and then you just start seeing the fire trucks going in to put out the fire, and you just hear Jamie Lee Curtis go, "Let it burn! Let it burn!" And then Michael gets out and starts going on a killing spree. And like I said, I loved the last movie. The trailer blew me away how much I really, really enjoyed it. And so I'm really looking forward to Halloween Kills. It's something that I'm really shocked it's in my, especially my top 5. But like I said, the last Halloween movie turned me into a fan of these movies. And if this one is good again, then damn, I'm impressed. It could be bad because sometimes horror sequels are not the greatest, like Don't Breathe, I guess. But I'm looking forward to seeing Halloween Kills in October.
Cool. I don't really have anything to say. I can't believe it's that high on your list. A slasher movie from a guy who doesn't even like horror movies,
right?
Hey, whatever floats your boat. My number 5 is the reboot sequel Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Mm-mm.
Cannot believe you picked Halloween over this amazing looking Ghostbusters movie.
It looks good, but here's my thing. Okay, before you get into it, I'm not a fan of the Ghostbuster movies. Like the first one was okay, I liked it, but it's not anything that I ever want to go back and rewatch. And then the remake was awful. So like
Yeah.
I this could be a good movie. It probably will be a good movie. Like I have faith that this movie will be good. It's just that I don't care for the Ghostbusters, so I had no like the trailer was good. It's just I wasn't excited for the movie.
I,
So that's why I didn't put it on my list, and I picked 10 other movies that excite me over this one because I had a feeling it would be on your list.
yeah, I will say that Ghostbusters, the original, was way overhyped because I think we went together to go see
Mhm.
that in theaters, and I wasn't like blown away by it, and that's why I never went and saw the sequels, other than we did watch the reboot with the ladies. Um, and but this one looks like my kind of thing. It's got a Stranger Things vibe to it. It's not. It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't look as goofy and as dated as the original Ghostbusters was. But then you've also got those kind of things that tie back to it, so that your original fans are geeking out about this, but you're also pulling somebody in like me who, not the biggest fan of Ghostbusters, but the trailers look amazing, and Paul Rudd's in here and he looks great,
Mhm.
and we
Full
just
Wolf Hard or Full Wolf
yeah,
Hand, whatever his name is.
yeah, Wolfhard.
Carrie Coon, she's in the movie as well. So it's got a great cast. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the movie. It's just
This
that's
is
just
another movie that was supposed to come out last summer, I think, and it was
yeah.
because of COVID.
COVID.
So yeah, I'm pumped for some Ghostbusters Afterlife.
All right. Uh, my number 4.
Yes,
Get your flight suit on. I'm going with Top Gun Maverick.
and this is an honorable mention because I've yet to watch the original, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna like this movie, the original and this one. But
Right. Top Gun Maverick. I mean, for me, it's a movie I've been wanting to watch for because it was supposed to come out last summer. COVID. And like it's Tom Cruise back as the iconic role as Maverick. You have Miles Teller in there playing Goose's son. You got even Val Kilmer in there. So I mean, I love the first one. The first one is for me a pure 80s film that I just enjoy. And the soundtrack's great. Danger Zone, the Top Gun anthem, it's a great score. The original was directed by Tony Scott. And I don't know who directs this new one, but I'm looking forward to it. Tom Cruise, for me, whatever he wants to do, I'll go see it as long as it's good. And he's been doing a lot of cool movies. I'm sure he drives the jet plane. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
and everything. So I'm looking forward to Top Gun Maverick. I mean, it's one of those films that I never thought we would get made. It could be bad because waiting so long to do a sequel of a film is usually a bad sign. But for some reason, I have optimism that this movie will be great. So I'm looking
I
forward to
think
Top
the
Gun.
director of this movie is the guy who did that sci-fi Tom Cruise movie that everybody hates,
Oh, Oblivion.
Oblivion. Yeah, because Tony Stott is dead.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'm decently into, which is surprising. I'm decently interested in this movie, um, even though I haven't seen the original. Just the trailers alone are really cool, and like you said, Tom Cruise usually he puts on a good show. So, but I'm trying to wait till we get closer. I'm going to watch the original. I bought it in 4K, and then I'll be there opening night with you to see the new one.
Yeah, we might have to do a classic. We might have to do one for classic movie things
Yeah.
with Top Gun coming up.
Okay, I like that. All right. My number 4, and I'm going to be mad if you do not have this movie on your list, is Last Night in Soho.
That's a punt.
Okay. Whew. I was about to say, you got freaking Michael in there, or Freddy. What is it? Who's in?
It's Michael Myers for
Michael Myers.
Halloween. Friday the 13th, Jason, and the Nightmare on Elm Street is Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. All right. Well, then that's my number 4.
All right. My number 3 is, we just talked about it when you talked about the House of Gucci, and I'm going with The Last Duel.
That's my number 3 too.
Woo! We had some missteps getting to some commonality, but it looks like the top of our list is very similar. Last Duel. I mean, first off, Jodie Comer in the movie. I love her. And from watching her in Killing Eve, her performances in that show is great. Then if you just go into what we saw last week with Free Guy, she is damn good actress in the film. So what I like about this story is, what I love about this story is it's kind of like a 2021 story, but set in like in medieval times. A woman basically gets raped or assaulted or something. She pulls out her accuser, and no one wants to believe her. And her husband challenges the other guy for a duel. But it's basically a story that we would see today, but set during medieval times. And this is based off a true story. So I am so fascinated with this movie. But for me, the movie is really led by her performance. Is really what keeps the whole movie together. But that's not even to mention, we got Adam Driver, who, like I just said with House of Gucci, has had such a hot streak of movies lately. We have Matt Damon. The last time Matt Damon and Ridley Scott worked together was The Martian. We have Ben Affleck in this movie in looks like a very small supporting role in this film. Looks like he's playing the king or something. It's got such a great cast, and it's also like a fantasy, or not fantasy. It's like a medieval duel. So I haven't seen one of those films from Ridley Scott since like Kingdom of Heaven. So there's so many things to get excited about this film, and I'm hoping Ridley Scott can really land this film. And I'm looking so forward to The Last Duel.
I'm looking forward to this so much, so that I almost put this as my number 1. But I have to temper my expectations. Mm-hmm. Some things you forgot is this is a Matt Damon, Ben Affleck written film.
Okay. I didn't know that.
And this is like been their passion project for 10 years. Damn. And I remember hearing about this movie like 4 or 5 years ago, because I thought it was like European sword fighting. I didn't, or even like a pistol duel. I didn't even realize that this was like a medieval, sword and sandals kind of movie. The trailer, though, it's freaking badass. The cast is awesome. Ridley Scott. I mean, and we haven't seen a Ben Affleck, Matt Damon written movie since freaking Goodwill Hunting, which I just watched and freaking loved.
Yeah, and they won the Oscar for that movie too.
So I keep tempering my expectations, because it's just too much good going on with this movie for it to be amazing. But I don't know, maybe we'll have to see.
Yeah, hopefully it delivers. Really hope, and because I love this time era for films, and like I said, I mean, there's so many positives going into this movie. It could be bad, but I have a feeling I'm going to love it.
I mean, freaking Ridley Scott, he directed Gladiator.
Yeah, that's true too. So I forgot about Gladiator.
Stuff, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like the perfect movie we have right here. So we'll see. But I am very excited about this movie.
All right. My number 2 was a putt from earlier, and that is Last Night in Soho.
Yeah.
And a lot for me is because we have Edgar Wright directed a thriller, so it's something completely different that we've ever seen Ridley Scott, Edgar Wright do. It's got I forget what that girl's name is.
She's from the Jojo Rabbit movie.
Oh,
or are you talking about?
I'm talking about Anna Taylor-Joy.
Anna Taylor-Joy. The Thomasin McKenzie is the girl from Jojo Rabbit. That's the 2 stars in the movie. Matt Smith.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Matt Smith, which I love me some Matt Smith. I forgot he was in this because I've always seen I saw the trailer once. It's like, love it. Going to see that. And I'm looking forward to it. I forget what it's about a little bit, but like I said, thriller, Edgar Wright, uh, uh, Anna Taylor Joy, Matt Smith, Thomas McKenzie for Jojo Rabbit, and I believe she was in something else I really liked as well. So I'm looking forward to this movie. I like hell yeah, sign me up. I'll see you. I'll see you in October. I think it's coming out in October.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's like either like maybe parallel universe or time travel. It's kind of horror-y kind of feel to it. Like she's like going to this place and becoming another person, or I don't really know, but it
Mm-hmm.
looks really cool. The trailer is really cool looking, and Edgar Wright is just on a roll here lately. So I've been hyped for this movie for a while, and I'm excited that it's close to time to see it. So glad you had it on your list.
All right, what's your number two?
My number two is Dune, which is going to be your number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dune. We talked about this a bunch. It looks amazing. Denis
Dennis Villeneuve.
Yeah. Whereas I have not like I've liked his movies for sure, but I'm not. Is he the greatest director of all time level yet? But man, does this trailer looks cool, and it's got a killer cast, and it's sci-fi, and it's a new. I know they've done Dune before, but it's something new and different, and it just looks really epic and large scale. I mean, you got Timothy Chalamet in here, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, Dave Bautista, isn't Aquaman in here? Yeah, Jason
Yeah.
Momoa's in here.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah,
Zendaya's in there. I mean, the cast is incredible.
it is.
Like I said, it's fantasy sci-fi. It's the Star Wars that we deserved that we didn't get with the those damn three movies that came out for Disney. Uh, it's being directed by Denis Villeneuve, which I call him the greatest of all time in current directors actually directed films. Like anytime he has a movie out, I'm seeing it. Blade Runner 2049, Arrival, two of my favorite movies the year it came out. Sicario was a damn good movie. I've never seen Prisoners, but I've heard Prisoners is a really good movie as well. And so yeah, anytime he does a movie, I get excited for it. And the cast, the premise, the story, I think this movie's gonna be damn good. I can't wait for October. I will not be watching on HBO Max. I will be going to see it in theaters because this is a movie that you deserve to go see in the theaters. Hopefully,
I hope people go and see it in theaters. So these HBO Max movies are really starting to kill the box office.
they really are.
We need to get past this year so it'll quit, because it came out today that he said he was already writing a script for the sequel, and I'm like, man, bro, I mean, we need to get this off of HBO Max so that you can actually make some damn money. Because
I think after this year, though, the movies on HBO will cease soon. We won't see that much anymore, just because they realized what the box office has done, and the only reason they did that was because they didn't know what the climate for going to the movies were going to be. So I understand why Warner Brothers did it, but it's killing them because they've had two movies that are my right now current top 10 of the year so far. Right now, Suicide Squad and In the Heights are my favorite movies of the year, and they're Warner Brothers movies, but they bombed the box office.
Yeah.
So of course we don't know what the money residual from the HBO Max are getting. So they could be making profits, but they won't release those numbers probably. Just like Netflix never releases the numbers on their movies they release. So I mean, maybe there's something to it.
Hey, as long as HBO doesn't turn around and be like, well, we're not going to make a sequel to Dune or Suicide Squad, because no one went and saw it on, at the theaters, and you're going to be like, yeah, it's because everybody could watch it for free or pirate it for free. Or,
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm worried about. But I guess all we got left is my number one, which I hear your hesitation on the fact that we haven't seen a trailer for this, and this could very possibly get pushed. But I don't think they're going to do it. I think the reason we haven't seen a trailer is because Disney / Sony, mainly Sony, because Sony is still the owner of Spider-Man, knows what they're sitting on. And I think this is going to be the greatest Spider-Man of all time. And they know they got something special, and they got to make that trailer perfect. I mean, that first trailer's got to be going to be perfect. I'm so pumped for this movie because of all the rumors.
So the movie's called what? It's Spider-Man.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Okay.
Yep, and we got rumors of the multiverse and our other Spider-Mans teaming up. We got villains from other movies. We got the Mary Janes from other movies going to be in here for how long? Who knows? Supposedly Doctor Strange is in this movie. I've heard Matt Murdock's in this movie. I want to see this. I think this could be a really cool bridge to Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness,
which we already got. We already got the open door for Doctor Strange with between WandaVision and Loki coming out. Well, we've already opened the door for the multiverse with Loki. So
we cracked it open. Now with Spider-Man,
I don't think it's cracked. I think the door is wide open.
I can kick it open with Spider-Man, and I'm so excited for this movie. And it would just kill me if it ends up coming out. And like you, don't even have it on my list.
It's on my Marvel. It's on my honorable mentions. But here's my deal. I didn't love the last movie.
I know you didn't, but
I like parts of it, and it's in the bottom. It's really in my Marvel rankings. It's towards the bottom of my Marvel list. And like I'm interested in Tobey Maguire and maybe Andrew Garfield showing up in It's No Way Home, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure it's coming out. The movie comes out in December. I know it's still a little whiles away, but it's crazy because I would always put movies so high on my list and not having trailers. And we have had no trailer for this movie, and you have it at your number one. So it's kind of weird how we come over the years.
It's a very weird gamble I'm making, but and this was number one in my most anticipated of the year too. So I just stuck with it, and I thought, do not do this, Sony. And then the Venom thing really made me question it because it was like, they pushed Venom a couple weeks. I'm like, oh my God, what are they doing? It's just like, but also there may be something in this movie that we can't continue on with the MCU without this movie showing. And I think Doctor Strange, isn't that the next movie that's coming out in the MCU?
Yeah, Doctor Strange comes out in March, and then Thor: Love and Thunder comes out in May.
So if this is tied to Doctor Strange, like the rumors are saying, then I would think if Sony has to push this movie, then Disney would have to push Doctor Strange. And so that's another thing where I'm like, it's coming out. They're just making that trailer perfect. And maybe we'll get it before Shang-Chi is what I'm hoping. But yeah,
I don't know if we'll get it before Shang-Chi. I don't know. I mean, I'm personally I'm on board. I've always been on board for not showing any movie trailer for this film. And because the only advertisement you need for Spider-Man is new Spider-Man movie coming out, go see it. That's always been my argument for Star Wars. That new Star Wars movie coming out, go see if you want. If not, no. And it would be very intriguing and interesting if there's no trailers that ever comes out for this movie, and they're just like, yeah, Spider-Man, December. Go see if you want.
That would be cool. Then you would know if they did something like that. If they were like, "Hey, it's coming out. It's definitely coming out, but we're not going to give you a trailer." That's it. Then you would know. You'd be like, then you'd even be losing your shit even more. But
yeah,
there's no way they would do that.
I know, but I would be very impressed with the balls of Sony if they did that. So I really hope they do that. Yeah. But for the purposes of anticipated lists, I'm not that excited for Spider-Man. There are elements of it because I've heard Tobey Maguire and Garfield are only in the movie for like maybe 10 minutes. So that's not enough for me to be that really excited about the film. So we'll see what happens. And I hope it's good.
Let's put this list together.
All right. So obviously I had Dune at 1. You had it at 2. So obviously that has to go at number 1.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
All right. I had Last Night in Soho at 2. You had it at 4. I think a 2-4 beats a number 1.
No, what? Yeah, I don't think so, sir.
Personally, okay. I mean, just what
How about
I think a
put it
2-4.
as a 3? 2-4 means 3.
Fine, fine. Fireman No Way from
Okay, you're
Home.
trying to take Spider-Man off our list.
No, I'm not. Well, I was going to put it at like 4. So
No, because
I
you're full
try.
of crap. You know, if this movie actually does come out, it would have been on your list, high up on your list, no matter how much you hated the last movie. Which you didn't hate the last movie. You
I
just
hate it, but
that's your favorite.
it's towards the bottom of my Marvel MCU rankings. All right. Next we'll go Last Duel Soho at 3.
Okay.
All right. Then we go The Last Duel at 4.
Okay.
And that ends our commonalities.
It's not surprising.
All right. So I had Top Gun Maverick at 4. What's your highest movie you have left?
My next one's 5, so looks like you're getting
All right.
Top Gun Maverick.
All right. I had Halloween Kills at 5. What do you have at 5?
Ghostbusters.
I'll go Ghostbusters at 6.
Okay.
All right. I had West Side Story at 6. What'd you have at 6?
Eternals.
All right.
You can do it
I'll
the
go
other
West.
way this time.
I'll go West Side. And Eternals. All right. All I have left is Shang-Chi at 7. What do you have at 7?
House of Gucci.
All right. I'm going to go Shang-Chi. So
Okay. Choosing
I put
superhero.
a lot of Marvel movies in this
I
list.
know I said put superhero movie over Oscar movie, but
Well, I'd rather put Tick Tick Boom over House of Gucci. So I'd rather have Shang-Chi in there.
and Tick Tick Boom, number 11. Old Kingsman bumped that one out.
All right, let's announce this list to the Easy Cage fans.
All
The
right.
top 10 anticipated fall movies of 2021. Yeah. At number 10, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. At number 9, Eternals. At number 8, West Side Story. At number 7, Halloween Kills. At number 6, Ghostbusters Afterlife. At number 5, Top Gun Maverick. At number 4, The Last Duel. At number 3, Last Night in Soho. At number 2, Spider-Man No Way Home. And the number 1 most anticipated film coming up in the fall of 2021 is Dune. Yeah, great list. I mean, honorable mentions, go.
Whew, I got a lot. I had Shang-Chi. I had Tick Tick Boom. I had Many Saints of Newark, and I had Venom. I had Top Gun. But the ones that I had that we haven't talked about at all, that's the ones I would rather talk about. Finch. We're supposed to get a trailer for that tomorrow. It's a post-apocalyptic movie with Tom.
Yeah, we talked about it in the August list. Remember?
Yeah. I still, I want to see the trailer before I'm like, but it's Tom Hanks, so it might be cool. Dear Evan Hansen, we've talked about this before. It's a musical. Could be bad, could be good. I don't know. I didn't want to put it on my top 10. There's a Michael Keaton movie called Worth, where it's like a post 9/11 movie where he's trying to calculate the worth of everybody so that the government can pay the families of the people that have lost loved ones in 9/11. I think it's a Netflix movie, if I remember correctly. It looks pretty damn good. kind of an Oscar kind of movie. There's a big action movie that Netflix is coming out with called Red Notice. It's got The Rock, it's got Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, and it's got Ryan Reynolds in it. We've seen no trailer or anything for it yet, but I think this is going to be their big, Netflix's big, like probably December, November movie that they always been trying to do here lately with a big action movie. And I think it's got like, I don't remember who directs it, but it's somebody pretty big.
Michael Bay.
No, it's not Michael Bay. I don't know. He may be like producing it or something. Resident Evil. They're rebooting Resident Evil, and what's his name has nothing to do with it, which is kind of cool. I always kind of liked the idea of a Resident Evil movie, and this one is gonna be about it's Raccoon City, so it's kind of at the dawn of the apocalypse or whatever. So,
sure. I've never played a Resident Evil game, never watched a movie, have no interest in this franchise.
You've never watched a Resident Evil movie?
Nope.
But the first 3 are pretty damn good, but
I'll take your word for it.
It goes crazy. 2 more, and then I'll be done. There is a movie called Violence of Action.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah, Chris Pine, Ben Foster.
It's being directed by the guy who did Hell or High Water. So
yeah. So you never know with that one. It sounded pretty cool to me. And then American Underdog. This one I was reading about, and I was like, "Holy shit, this sounds amazing!" So I don't know if you know the story about Kurt Warner. I didn't really know about it.
Yeah, but it's like a Christian made movie. So that was
Zachary Levi stars in it.
Yeah,
he's playing Kurt Warner. And it's about how he goes from being basically a stock boy at a grocery store to playing in the NFL.
I knew a lot of that. So
Dennis Quaid's in it, Anna Paquin. Like, I was like, whoa! I didn't. It doesn't say anything in here about it being a Christian movie. There's no trailer or poster or anything for it.
Yeah.
But just the story alone, it got me researching up Kurt Warner because I was like, oh yeah, I kind of remember him and all. I was like, oh, this sounds like an awesome story, and I was up for a good sports movie. This sounded a million times more interesting to me than the Serena Williams tennis movie, even though Will Smith is in that one. So those are all my honorable mentions. Whew, what do you got?
Well, I really don't have much more to talk about, but I have Dear Evan Hansen, which I'm looking forward to that, just because it's either going to be one or two things. It's going to be one, it's going to be a very soapy Lifetime movie. 2, it's going to be a damn good film. So I think it could go either way, or it could also be bad because it's coming out in September, which is kind of the we're like, well, it's not really an Oscar-y movie, and because I was reading an article on Rotten Tomatoes where they think that main guy from Dear Evan Hansen could be nominated for an Oscar if he's really good. But it's the guy who did the songs for La La Land and The Greatest Showman. More excited about the La La Land part of it than the Greatest Showman part. I also had No Time to Die. I have a movie called The French Dispatch in my list. I think that's a new Wes Anderson movie. I have Eternals also on my list. Ghostbusters in my list. Gucci on my list. Enchanto on my list. I have a movie called Nightmare Alley on my list. Looks kind of interesting. I forget what that's about. Violence and Action. I have a movie which I don't think is coming out this year. It is Matrix 4.
I know. That was one of the hardest ones because I was like, there's no trailer, and then they weren't filming it to July, so I was like, this movie isn't coming out. But so, if it is, I would have that on my list because I do.
It had no shot being on my list at all. So even if it's the greatest movie trailer of all time, it had no chance of being in that movie just because. They've only made 1 Matrix movie, so just like they've only made 3 Indiana Jones movies and 3 Die Hard films.
Your Nightmare Alley movie, directed by Guillermo del Toro, stars Bradley Cooper, Cate Blanchett, and Rooney Mara.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty badass to me.
Yeah, so that's why I put it on my list. And then also I had Spider-Man No Way Home as honorable mention. So, like I said, A lot of my honorable mentions were on your list. So, guys, that is episode 144 of the Easy K Show. Guys, I hope we gave you some movies that you should go check out in the fall. There's a bunch of cool movies coming out. You should check them out, and also check out Reddy Cage at his Letterboxd, as he'll be talking about a bunch of movies on his reading little thing he does. Also, make sure you check out my YouTube channel where I've been posting a bunch of movie reviews. I just had reviews of. I think today I had a review of Free Guy come out today, so check that out now. And then tomorrow you can check out my review of the first season of the Star Wars, The Bad Batch. We'll be talking about that full season in a couple weeks, actually, on the Easy K Show. But before we do that, next week, me and Reddy Cage will be talking about our 10 favorite films of the summer. A lot of movies to talk about. Well, not a lot of movies, but there's a few movies to talk about, and it's good to be able to actually talk about a summer list in a year where we've had kind of a mix of streaming movies and a mix of movies in theaters as we return to normal. Hopefully normal stays with us, and hopefully this Delta does not destroy our movies again. So guys, until next week, all too easy.